Who's the most gifted quarterback in the 49ers quarterback room? Just gifted. Because this is a whole, not who's the best right now. Because I guess that would have to be Brock, given what he's done. I'm talking gifted.
I mean,
because I feel like Kyle might say Sam Darnold, which might just make me fall over. I don't know.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I guess I would have to say Trey, just from the standpoint of, the one thing he did at North Dakota State that we never talk about at all, but he was just this awesome play action fake guy, great taking snaps under center, great in the play action game from under center. Footwork was down, head fakes, ball fakes, all really strong. He ran for 1,100 yards. He threw for like 28 touchdowns and I think only one interception. Or was it none?
It might have been none. Can I read his scouting report real quick? The strengths from NFL
stat line. Took care of the football, set the protections.
Let me read these strengths real quick on his draft profile, because it's kind of wild that this was written 2 years ago. This is what they wrote about him. Strengths: film junkie with high football IQ and NFL frame. Makes calls to set his own protections. Bouncy feet for accelerated pocket setups. Play fake aficionado from under center, causing defenders to consistently bite. Passing scheme encourages full field reads. Processes progressions very quickly, can work to its fourth read when protected. Able to mentally recalibrate his attack when play comes off schedule. Taking care of the football is a priority for him. Rarely takes bait against zone defenders and safeties looking to pounce. Compact, twitchy release partially mitigates his windup. Makes attempt to throw targets away from coverage. Adequate anticipation on timing routes. Makes quality touch throws into sideline buckets and over linebackers. Knows his way around the pocket and can make sudden escapes. Above average speed, athleticism, and power when he's on the move. Able to move the chains in a variety of ways. That's a lot of strengths.
And we've picked, if you close your eyes, you can picture almost all of those traits. The only thing on that entire report that I would say I'd even push back on at all is I think his motion has a little bit of a hitch, and it's not the cleanest motion, and there's all kinds of
he's not a natural
that can it's just not a natural motion from where he takes the ball when he's holding it to when his release point. There's movement there. There's refinement that needs to be necessary. And also I would say I've seen less of the touch passes that were described there. I think it's there. We saw a beautiful one to Danny Gray down the sideline against Green Bay in the preseason where he dropped it in the bucket. I mean, it was absolutely perfect. But I see less of those throws. I see a guy who's kind of throws some of that stuff really super hard. But a lot of that stuff I do see. I mean, a lot of that stuff I really believe are his legitimate strengths.
What's crazy is when his first pro day happened, people flipped out. And if you remember, you can look it up. Daniel Jeremiah wrote his scouting report of Trey Lance right around then. At the end, he had a pro comparison for him. Can you guess who he compared Trey Lance to? Daniel Jeremiah. Guess.
Mahomes?
Andrew Luck.
Okay.
I mean, damn. And now we look at him as like, man, is this guy Blaine Gabbert? Is this guy going to be on the Toronto Argonauts in a couple years? Like, how could this? He gets 4 starts and the team's like, no. Like, that's to me is just crazy. You can't tell me. I mean, let me look at Sam Darnold. Let's go back, and he was the 3rd pick in the draft. Let's reacquaint ourselves with Sam Darnold's profile. What is he working with? Okay, let's see. He's been on bad teams. Lance Zierlein, here's his strengths. Has desired NFL size. Trusts his pocket and keeps eyes down the field. Looks off safeties. Takes what the defense is offering and won't overcomplicate it. Scans full field, and eyes don't get bogged down on a single target. Gets through progressions like a pro. Throws with desired anticipation and timing. Isolates deep ball opportunities pre-snap. There isn't a throw he fears. Impressive feel for spatial relationship between target and defender. Trusts his arm and placement. Naturally accurate with tight spirals. Oh, tight spirals. Has arm talent to uncork it quickly. Rifles it to hitches and swing passes, giving them more time to operate. Has velocity, timing, and accuracy to own the deep out. Tough in and out of the pocket. Feels edge pressure and climbs away from sharks circling the arc. Shakes off sack attempts and throws with accuracy and pace when on the move. Completion percentage unaffected by the blitz. Man, this guy's like the greatest ever. Sudden processor when faced with free running blitzers. Can pump and recalibrate. Tough runner who can move the sticks. Doesn't get shaken by in-game mistakes. Shows quality leadership and poise. Oh my God, that's a Hall of Famer. Wow, they're on the same team. The Niners must have the best quarterback room in the league. I take it all back. Whoa.
Sam Darnold.
Wow.
That's an awesome
John
report.
Elway.
Well, okay, a couple things in there that I think that people have have talked about for a long time. It's the accuracy. People like the accuracy of Sam Darnold. But as far as manipulating safeties and this is that, this guy's turned the ball over a lot. And it wasn't just for the bad Jets. He turned the ball over a lot at USC. So, yes, he's 6'4". But I mean 4.85, so it's not a crazy 40 time. It's 26-inch vertical, not a crazy athletic build. I mean, it's they compared him to Luck. That's amazing.
What's crazy about Darnold too is like even if he is known for his accuracy, that's crazy because his career completion percentage is 59.7, and last year when he had his career renaissance, it was 58.6. So to me, I don't know. I mean, I actually think Lance and Darnold are kind of similar. I think they're in that Blaine Gabbert mold of big, strong, fast, smart guys that get picked really high, but they're arm throwers that don't really control the ball that well. And Gabbert never fixed it. Darnold's trying. I don't know if he ever will. And Lance is 22 years old and trying. But these are big, strong guys, fast, smart, seemingly the prototype. But what is the accuracy really? Like, are you mechanically sound, or are you just guys who've been winging it your whole lives because you're so gifted? That's what I look at.
Well, I mean, I just think that what was Trey Lance when he came out? He was super inexperienced.
Yep.
And he was coming off the FCS level. And if you read that Lance ZeroLineNFL.com report, it quotes an AFC personnel executive from an AFC team. And he says you have to be really patient with him. And are they being
the Niners? 4 starts. Peace. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
I would say no, although they didn't play him right away, which I guess, hold on. So this is Daniel Jeremiah, what he said about him 2 years ago. What I liked: poise, accuracy, decision-making, playmaking ability, toughness. I mean, Jesus, man. What he reminds me of Andrew Luck. I know Luck is a little bit bigger, but they are similar athletes, and they both played with the maturity beyond their age at the college level. I remember watching Luck run over defenders. I also remember being so impressed with his ability to execute on key plays in every game. I see the same things when I study Lance. More than anything else, these are two guys who exude confidence on the field. They are fearless, but they avoid being reckless. That's a very delicate balance. Luck was on his way to a Hall of Fame career before shocking the football world and retiring a year ago. I don't have quite the same grade on Lance, but he could get there with continued growth and development. Hall of Fame! That was 2 years ago, man. The guy has lost 2 games in the NFL, and people are like, man, he might be the biggest bust ever. It's amazing. It's really amazing how perceptions change.
It shows that, he required patience and development and
didn't get it.
I wondered, on draft day, I know Kyle Shanahan's smart. I know he's a good offensive coach. I know he can call plays. I know his offense produces points, but that doesn't make you a quarterback guru, and that doesn't mean you can develop a quarterback. And
preach.
You know what? I think at this point, Brock Purdy is perfect for him because he's ready to roll. He doesn't need any development. And if you told me in this draft that they were going to wind up trading Trey Lance and winding up with another quarterback like a Jake Hayner or somebody who's played a ton, 48 career college starts, who also could, my guess is I could easily see it happen.
If they trade Trey Lance for Jake Hayner straight up, I'm telling you, fans are going to lose it. I don't think they're that bold. Maybe Kyle is, Jet ain't. I'd love to see him do it. And I know you want to win that bet. I'm rooting for you to win that bet. But I just don't see it. Hey, God love you if you do, though. I'll tip my hat to you. Most gifted quarterback on the Niners? I don't know. I mean, was Trey Lance the most misevaluated quarterback of all time? How do you go from being compared to Andrew Luck to competing with Sam Darnold for a job? Sam Darnold was, I think, compared to Andrew Luck coming out of USC. Like, wasn't he the guy who could do it all? Wasn't he wise behind his years? I don't know. I
mean, the one thing about Trey, it's kind of like same with Trubisky. You have 1 year starters, so there's a lot of it's projecting. You're projecting, what he's going to be down the road. He's going to be good down the road. I really believe that. It's just people want it right now, and the Niners want it. The Niners don't just want it right now. The Niners need it right now. The Niners are like, you know what? We're in our Super Bowl window, but we're not going to be there long. And this kid needs 2.5 years to develop, but we don't have 2.5 years to develop him. That's where I
go get Lamar. Go get Lamar.
But see,
all right, go ahead.
Makes a lot of money.
That's true.
They were committed.
And you want to win a Super Bowl
contract? They want a veteran type player They want a rookie who's got a veteran like makeup. They feel like they have that in Purdy. I bet you they're going to wind up with another guy like that.
I feel it, and it's a good way to go until you don't want to overspend for the Jimmy Garoppolos of the world. But how many quarterbacks have won Super Bowls in the rookie deal? 2. Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson, Hall of Famers. Although I don't know if Russell Wilson's going to be a Hall of Famer, but really, really, really good quarterbacks. It doesn't matter what you're paying. Guy has to be really, 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 really good one way or another. So
there's no question. You have to. You only win with a top
really
tier
good
guy.
Yes,
but here's the thing: if you're built to win on with a quarterback with a rookie deal you can't just pivot and say, now we'll take Rodgers. We'll take Lamar, because you just all that means is you're going to get rid of Ayuk.
They have to change your team.
Bosa.
All right, well, they got to prove that this construction of a roster is actually a Super Bowl formula, because what you've done is built your team backwards. You got everything. You got the long snapper. You got everything other than the quarterback, and you're saying, okay, well, with everything, these quarterbacks can succeed. You got the defense, the weapons, the left tackle, the coach. You've been given everything. You can't fail. Okay, well, we'll see, because every other team just goes for the quarterback first and then works from there. Not the geniuses of Santa Clara, because they're light years. What is it about Bay Area people thinking we're light years ahead of everyone else? It's just how we operate.
I think they lucked into Purdy to a degree. I mean, they drafted this guy. They thought he had some skills, and he showed way more off-schedule mobility. And so now they feel like they got the guy, and they're so tantalized by the idea of winning the Super Bowl and contending for a Super Bowl and having the rookie quarterback in the rookie deal. That I just think we're measuring this so many different ways. It's this and that and arm strength and upside. And no. It's about who's ready to play right now. And Brock is, and Trey may be, and so they're all in on Brock.
Joctavius Montford, best name I've ever heard, says Purdy equals Romo. I actually always felt that pre-ACL injury Jimmy was sort of in that mold, although he was never as good as Romo. But Romo's bigger than Purdy, slower than Purdy. Purdy's like, who did Pete Carroll compare him to? Fran Tarkenton. I never saw Fran Tarkenton play.
To me,
but
he's kind of okay. Yeah. So who was compared to Fran Tarkenton before Purdy? Russell Wilson. He's kind of like poor man's Russell Wilson. He's not.
Russell Wilson has the
athlete the Russell is, but
he doesn't have the deep. He doesn't have the deep ball. Russell Wilson is the greatest deep ball I've ever seen.
But
so I just want to see how far can Purdy get without a deep ball. I just want to know. Because I don't think he really has one.
Those guys know how to win. I mean, how many? The Niners are what, 4-16 or 4-17 against Russell?
Maybe.
And he did the kinds of things that he did to Seattle last year, sliding for a first down, kind of annoying everybody at the end, running out the clock.
Yeah. Dave Barclay says, "Have you ever rolled one show into another?" No, I haven't. I thought it was fun today because why? It's easier. Still support Trey. Still say fire Kyle and John. Hey, respect, Dave. Possibly even Jed. Yeah, fire the owner. Why not? He doesn't appear to have a spine. He doesn't appear to have. He's a jellyfish. Can't Trey get to start with all these guys? Yeah, just given how much you've put into him, wouldn't you want to just see him with the full complement of weapons before you trade him? Given that, and you would think, unless you're getting the first. Battle Beast 19 says Grant knows BP Sanity over if he plays this year. BP Sanity, like Lynn Sanity.
I got you.
I don't know. NG49 says Trey was
Jeremy. Now he's Jeremy Lin.
I don't know.
Dude, that is so disrespectful.
I am a little afraid for Brock that if he comes back and plays this year and he's not fully recovered, people write him off. Hey, it's possible that he gets cleared, but there's like mental hurdles to recover, and he won't be fully the Brock Purdy we remember until halfway through the season or 2024. And I would hope that he doesn't. It's a very much what have you done for me lately league. So I'm just putting that out there for Brock, keep that in mind. Get healthy and be your own advocate here, because you're replaceable to the 49ers. As much as they say they like you, wait till they draft Jake Haener and then they feel like they have two of you. The Cosmic Channel says Trey Lance is the future, period. Be nice if he could ever be the present. And that's on him and the Niners. Gold Rush says, Larry, thank you for not screaming your opinions. Do I scream my opinions? I'm so sorry. I will talk quieter. I get excited. Sorry about that.
How dare you be energetic?
I'm sorry. Lance for MVP. How about Lance for, let's start smaller than MVP. Wasn't he like
how about Lance for 3 games in a row without an injury? Let's go with that.
How about 7 quarters?
Yeah.
I'm not putting that on him. If you go to Vegas and do like a futures bet on the MVP this year, isn't Lance one of the odds-on favorites to win the MVP this year? I don't know if
he's one of he's definitely one of them.
Yeah, because Vegas thinks the Niners are the best team in the league, no matter who their quarterback is. So it's like whoever gets the honor of, and it is true. It's like it's a very quarterback friendly system until you get injured. So there's that.
Well, I'll say this: it's a quarterback friendly system, but you're playing with great weapons, but you're playing behind a line that's just pretty good, not great that's judging it soft, and you're also playing for a coach that is notoriously difficult on his quarterbacks, and yet demands a ton out of them. So and is not great at accepting blame. No. So you're going to get a big portion of that. So this is a great job, but it also comes with its own challenges.
Also, his passing game is predicated on slow developing play action passes where tight ends and running backs block edge rushers. So protect yourself, buddy.
Get rid of that ball.
As Brock Purdy learned, hey, step up in the pocket and throw a little quicker. Cade Carter says D'Amico and Carthon know Trey better than anyone else. If they actually saw something special in the last 2 years, they'd offer a second for him, no question. Yeah, I'm just saying the fact that the Texans haven't jumped at it, the fact that the Titans haven't jumped at it, the fact that the Niners are even putting him on the block, it's got to give teams pause. Like, whoa, what happened in Santa Clara? What are we missing? We liked him coming out of North Dakota State, but what the hell happened in Santa Clara? I don't know.
Or it's just a simple deal of, hey, we want to make this deal after we see what we get in the first round, see how the thing falls. I mean, every team's got players they like. If you got some player that you had 15th in the first round and you're at 32 and you're the Texans and he's sitting right there, you'd rather draft him. So you're not going to make the trade ahead of time. But if you don't have that player and you didn't go quarterback with your first 2 picks and you're coming up on 32, who knows? All of a sudden that may look like Lance may look very attractive. So I think it's a lot of that going on.
Cool. I would love Trey Lance to get traded to a team that believes in him and wants him, because I feel like he hasn't had that yet in his career, and it's too bad. I mean, you have essentially no chance to succeed unless you get in that situation. I don't care how good the team is. If the roster doesn't want you there, if the coaches aren't committed to you, you're screwed. So I'd love to get traded to a team that believes in him, but I don't know what that team is. And again, I keep coming back to his values all derived from 2019. Man, in 2019, I was a whole different person.
Lots happened between then.
Lots happened. NG49 says Trey was ready to play this past year. Why would that have changed? When he was playing, there was enthusiasm with fans and media because he flashed potential. Why is he all of a sudden not ready? I mean, the Niners haven't said anything, right? They just what they're saying essentially is that, look, no disrespect to Trey. He got hurt. It set back the development. He still needs to improve on some things. It's just that Brock Purdy's better than Lamar Jackson. So we got our franchise quarterback. And that's where I'm like, yo, guys, can we slow down, please? Can we just slow down?
It all goes back to what Lynch said at the Combine. He goes, hey, you know what? Trey Lance, needs to play, but we got a team that's ready to win right now. And the implication was clear at that point. The implication was that Trey is not ready to play right now. They have a team that's ready to win right now, and Trey's got to play. That's not a problem unless you don't think Trey can play. If you don't think Trey can play right now, that's a problem. And I think that's where they're at. They don't believe that Trey can play right now.
Right. What I'd like to say to the Niners is that, guys, you guys suck at evaluating your quarterbacks in practice. And what I'd like, just know that. And give the guy a chance in the game for like a stretch. He hasn't even played. Like, Jimmy came here, didn't have to practice, wasn't running the scout team, just learned the offense, got on the field, won 5 games, never had to run the scout team, never was judged on practice. Trey had to run the scout team for a year while he didn't even know who he was as a quarterback. I could see him struggling in that role. And you judged him off that, then you make him the starting quarterback anyway, and then he gets hurt, and you're like, oh, it didn't work out. Like, ooh, you know what? I get loving Brock, although even that feels a little hasty, but while he's working his way back, maybe, just maybe, you need to see Trey Lance in a game to see if he's a gamer, because I feel like you think Jimmy's a gamer. I know John Lynch said that to me. Jimmy's a gamer. Brock, clearly a gamer. What if Trey's a gamer? We don't know. He's played 4 games and won 2 of them. One.
They've seen a lot of them. So
in practice.
They should know. They should know what they have, right? Shouldn't they know?
They didn't know what they had in Brock. They didn't know what they had in Brock. They did not know what they had in Brock. Yeah, but they didn't play him. When Trey went down, they played Jimmy when Brock was better. They should have known that Brock was better. Brock's better than Jimmy. They played Jimmy. They should have played Brock. I question their ability to evaluate their own quarterbacks in practice. Practice isn't football. It's like a football-like substitute. Yeah, that's not even the same sport. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no pass rush. There's no tackling. There's no live bullets.
My whole thing with it is like, hey, look, if you're being you're being very clear with Trey about your feelings. Trey's telling us, hey, I just want a chance to play. It's pretty obvious. If he was getting a chance to play, he probably wouldn't say that. But the fact is that they're saying, well, we'll see if he competes. We'll see. We're going to find out. They're either going to give him this chance or they're not. And if he's good enough, he'll play. But I kind of wonder, if you said to me, what do they really want? I don't think they want some gigantic big competition. I think they've already evaluated the thing and want to go with Brock Purdy. And so I kind of think they'll wind up moving Trey to a place where he can play, and then going with Brock and replacing Trey in the draft. That's what I think's going to happen.
I know. You bet on it. You bet an entire meal. I know. You bet an entire meal on it. It takes 2 to tango. We'll see if that market develops. Angie, sorry for skipping you. Manny PSF95 says, Grant, you said BP was a franchise quarterback after the Seahawks playoff win, but now say he's a high-level backup. You're going to have to show me saying that on film. And if I did, I was tripping. Franchise quarterback? Nah, I don't think so. I said that? I don't think I said that. Man, if I said that, I was tripping. Lynch was short and sweet with you, Grant. I thought he gave a nice answer. Has Trey's agents asked for a trade? No. Well, way to clear up that one. Good to know. I hope Trey traded and balls out. Free Trey. Balls out. Yeah.
He could. That's why they got to get something of significance, and I think they know it. I think they know it. That's why they're afraid to make a trade. They don't want to make a trade and get burned. They know he goes somewhere and becomes Mahomes. You're going to look like a fool. So you got to get something that's good.
Doesn't even have to be Mahomes.
You win the Super Bowl this
Doesn't
year.
even have to be Mahomes. You trade him for a 3rd-round pick, and he ends up being a good starting quarterback. You look dumb. Yeah.
Unless somehow Brock becomes the next great one and you win 7 Super Bowls.
If he's Joe Montana, for sure. Yeah. How about them Niners? Grant, Larry, NFL Draft Buzz, quarterback comparisons, Hainer, Hoyer, DTR, Josh Johnson. Oh, what? With more upside, Tune, Brock Purdy thoughts. I'm offended by this whole comment here. Josh Johnson with more upside? No, my comparison for DTR is Dennis Dixon. Remember Dennis Dixon before he tore his ACL?
Yeah, at Oregon.
He's a few years older than me, and he went to San Leandro High, and like that's not that far from O'Dowd, and everyone at O'Dowd pretended like they knew him. Like, oh, Dennis Dixon, that's my cousin. Oh yeah, that's my cousin's cousin. That's my cousin's friend. So he was great at baseball too, so good, and he was, I think, the first quarterback that Chip Kelly coached at Oregon, and that's when all that stuff took off, and then he tore his ACL. Sorry, Dennis.
My only question with Hainer is injuries. He's been hurt a lot. I like Tune quite a bit, though.
And he's 5'11".
Yeah, he's 5'11", 6 feet. But to me,
he's smaller than Brock. He's smaller than Brock.
And he's not as mobile. And he's had injuries. He hasn't been as healthy.
To me, the only reason people are excited about Jake Hainer is because of Brock Purdy. Swear to God. Everyone's like, okay.
He was the MVP of the Senior Bowl. They said he was great down there.
That's true. That's something to that. There is something to being good in the Senior Bowl. That's true. Still though. Also that S2 cognition thing. Everyone's all excited about that now. And he got like a 8th percentile or something?
96th, I think. Yeah.
DTR got 91 though.
I know. I mean, to me, that you saw John Lynch today talking about what he likes in prospects, and he's like smart, but he's like football smart.
Yeah.
So in other words,
you want to be rocket scientist.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but you do have to be football smart, and I feel like every player on the Niners can really talk football.
Well, they just want someone who loves playing. They don't want some guy who's just super athletic, who not interested in playing football, doesn't want to play football.
I can see that. Kid Carter says Niners might think some quarterbacks are better than they really are, Jimmy Garoppolo, but when they think they're bad, they're usually really bad. No one has ever been better after the Niners dumped them. Trey is likely just bad. Well, they haven't dumped him yet, though. To your point, kid. To your point.
Give it time.
Yeah, CJ Beathard hasn't burned him yet, but CJ Beathard also, don't count him out either.
I'm counting him out.
I'm counting him out. Larry, what do you got going on the rest of the night?
Join me over in the Krug show. Jesse Naylor's going to be in the house tonight.
Ooh.
And then later on tonight, Raj from RSF 49ers is going to stop by. A lot of Lynch talk, a lot of Niner talk, a lot of trade talk, a lot of Trey talk, not trade talk, a lot of Ayuk talk. We'll get into a bunch of Niners. It's going to be good.
In retrospect, it probably wasn't good that Trey's name sounds almost exactly like trade. Also, probably wasn't good that Kenny Pickett's last name is Pickett and he's a quarterback. Come on. Kidding me? I think names matter. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. It was a Mondo back-to-back show. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Go tune in to Larry. He'll keep it going. Larry, thank you. I'm passing the baton. Oh, Sherpain, how dare you give me $5? Reason people are excited about Jake Haener is the Bay. Oh, true. Is because his mom is Julie Haener. That is so true. Larry has been ready to rename Brock Montana since starting. Did I really call Purdy a franchise quarterback after Seattle? Man, I
remember that.
Oh, man, I'm a prisoner of the moment. Look, I might have said it. I hope I didn't, but I might have said it.
Who's got receipts?